Hey, how you doing? Welcome to day 14 of our 30-day challenge to reduce anxiety and enjoy life more. Today we are going to do some thinking. Some of you might be excited about that, some of you less so. But what we're going to be looking at specifically today is the value of worry. And this is a way of dealing with your thinking processes, because in, say, cognitive behavioral therapy, we would tackle it one way, and today we're going to look at how we would do it a different way, which is a metacognitive way. What does all this mean? Well, let's say, for example, you have a presentation coming up at work and you're really worried that you will mess it up. If you're doing cognitive behavioral therapy, the way you will challenge that belief about worry, I'm going to mess the presentation up, is to look at the evidence for it and say, well, what's the actual chances that I'll mess it up? I've given 6 presentations before and they all went okay, I got through them. And you'll also look at, for example, the social consequences of what happened if you did mess the presentation up. Then your boss wouldn't be too happy, but basically it would still be fine, right? So that's one way to deal with it, the cognitive behavioral therapy way. But what about the metacognitive way? Well, the metacognitive approach would say, what is the value of worrying about this? Because there's no new information coming in here about whether you're going to mess it up, right? But a lot of the time we convince ourselves that we need to worry because we think it will make us better. We think if we worry about messing the presentation up, it will make our delivery of the presentation better. Now in reality this isn't true, because it will just stress us out more and more and make us more likely to panic when we're actually doing it. But our subconscious thinks, no, we must continue to worry in order to make the presentation great. And there's probably a certain basis for this, in that we've been worriers all our lives and it's the thing we know to do, and we've had some successes in our lives, so our anxious brains probably associate all this worrying with good outcomes, even though we know on a higher, more rational level that it doesn't benefit us. So in the case of, say, worrying about this presentation at work, the metacognitive approach would be to say, okay, let me have a think about this. Is my presentation going to be improved by me doing this more worrying? No, it isn't, so I can stop this worrying. Now, of course, telling yourself that doesn't instantly make the worrying go away. But what it does mean is every time the worry comes back and back into your head, you can tell yourself, there is no value in me spending more time worrying about this, so I'm going to move my mind on to something else. And just like when we practice mindfulness, we'll just slowly redirect our attention away from it, telling ourselves that there's no value to this worry. So today's challenge is, when you find yourself worrying about something, ask yourself, what is the value of spending this energy worrying? And if there is no value, which there almost certainly won't be because that's anxiety, it's irrational, then remind yourself of that and redirect your attention on to something else. That's today's challenge. I will see you tomorrow.